I'm Andrea and this is my road bike. I bought it used a couple of years ago. It is a 2012 Cannondale Synapse and it needs a new cassette, chain, and new chain rings on the crankset. I was going to get this done at my local bike shop, however, they said it was going to be $300 for parts and labor, so I decided why not give it a shot at doing it myself to save a little money. And I'm also very interested in learning more about bike repair and maintenance. I would love to be able to build my own bike one day, so I thought this would be a great way to get more familiar with my bike and the different parts and tools needed to do these kinds of repairs. So the first thing that I needed to do was identify the year and specific model of my bike. I bought it used a couple of years ago, so I wasn't too sure of this. And how I did this was, first, I looked up when Cannondale Synapses started to have disc brakes, because this bike has rim brakes, and I thought that might be a good kind of distinction to make it a little bit easier as opposed to going through every single catalog. And it did. Just worked my way backwards from when Synapses first started having disc brakes, which I think was in, either a 2016, 2017, 2018 era. And then I kind of looked through the catalogs and I was able to find my specific bike in the 2012 catalog. And this wasn't too difficult because I think my bike has a pretty distinct pattern. It has like some waves. It is white with like light blue colors. So it was pretty easy to spot it in the catalog. After I knew the exact make and model of my bike, I was able to find the spec sheet for what would have been stock on it, and I believe like pretty much all the components were stock based on them matching up with that original spec sheet. I figured that once I identified what parts were on my bike that it would be easy just to order replacement parts, but that ended up not being the case, and that is because the specifics around bike parts change a lot every couple of years. So for example, like my bike has a 9-speed cassette, and most road bikes today have a 10 or 11-speed cassette, so that made things a little bit tricky. And then when it comes to my crankset, I was able to find the new version of this crankset. However, mine has a 5-bolt design, and that crankset has a 4-bolt design. So that was like another little idiosyncrasy. I was originally going to buy items new, but then I went to a bike shop trying to find replacement chain rings, and they suggested that I utilize one of the bike co-ops in the area. So that's what I ended up doing.